Yeah, I've been sitting here trying to figure out how to explain the new reality. It's not really a new reality. It's the way reality always has really been. Just the Homo sapien hasn't really got the power to conceive of that reality. We see things as there's one planet Earth. There's a single planet Earth. And it's the only Earth that there has ever been. And we're all alone in the universe and all that crap. Not only are we not alone in the universe, this is not the only Earth in the universe. There are a lot of Earths in the universe. They're spread throughout the universe and probably through the multiverse. Have you ever heard? You've all heard the term "as above, so below." Well, let's use that equation backwards. As below, so above. So as we look into quantum physics and we see the laws of quantum physics and we see how those laws function, we can take those micronistic laws and apply them macronistically. Anytime two or more particulates of matter are simultaneously created, quantum entanglement occurs. The information is shared on all of those particles. Chinese successfully did an experiment proving it's true. So it's true. Anytime two or more particulates of matter are simultaneously created, quantum entanglement occurs. Do you believe in the Big Bang? Do you believe that God created the heavens and the earth? If you believe either one of those things, then you believe that they were all created simultaneously. And if all are created simultaneously, quantum entanglement occurs. So there is not just one Earth. There's many Earths. There's lots of Earths. Everybody playing with the concepts of nonlinear time. That's an illusion. Time itself is linear on each individual particulate. It goes second to second to second to second to second. But you're not living in a linear reality. If you're going Earth to Earth to Earth to Earth to Earth. Not only does the reality change as you move, so does the time frame. Because each one has its own individual one, and that's where you get the illusion of nonlinear time. It still moves second to second. Once reality is created by observation, it is what it is. And then you have to create the next moment in reality. Then you have to create the next moment in reality, and then the next moment in reality is created by all those who observe. How long is it going to take people to figure out that the laws of quantum physics don't just apply to particulates of matter? They apply to all reality. They apply to all of creation. Not just microscopic. Less than microscopic. They apply to it all. I don't know. I feel like I'm the first person who learned how to speak. Trying to explain speech. No, really, you can use your sounds to make words and apply those words to things. As below, so above. You have to think really big. You have to think of God not as some man sitting in the clouds passing judgment. Think of it as a reality that you live on a particulate of matter in that reality. You are an electron. You are on an electron in that reality. Which would mean there were many Earths. Many Earths. If the Big Bang is true, then there are many Earths. There were many planets that were simultaneously formed, just like Earth, around yellow suns. They're all the same, except where they're completely different. You know, how many of you are talking about this exact kind of thing happening in your life? You know, the Mandela effect. Look, the Hawaiian Islands. There's this many islands. There's that many islands. And it's different. It's different here, and it's different there, and it's the same here, and it's the same there. And how does that happen? How does that happen? You're warping reality. Somebody's warping reality. Somebody's manipulating reality, and you believe that. You think, what's the technology that they use? What's the science that's behind changing reality? Is it easier to believe that someone is changing reality, or is it easier to believe you're in a different place? Through quantum entanglement. Your consciousness travels along the quantum entanglement line to a different place. So it's not exactly the same there. It's mostly the same. Everything is mostly the same, but there are differences. And those differences are what we call the Mandela effect. You know what the Mandela effect really is? You're paying attention. You didn't used to pay attention. Nobody used to pay attention. It's all part of this growth process that we're going through. Every 25,000 years, going back into fossil records, there's a period of massive evolution on the planet Earth. Creatures whose vertebrae were on the outside become vertebrae on the inside. All in a very short span of time. Massive evolution. Every 25,000 years. Just happens to coincide with galactic center and the high energy clouds on both sides of galactic center, which we only have another 3.5 years before we're out of that high energy cloud, and this period of high evolution ends again for another 25,000 years. And the new human will be born. The Homo sapien will become a thing of the past, just like the Neanderthal did. You need to think. Expand your thoughts. I have literally seen an Earth destroyed. CERN did it. CERN did the Higgs boson explosion at 13 times the power. You know what happened? Well, first, you know what CERN is studying? What they're studying with that. If you don't, go watch the CERN videos and they'll explain to you what they were looking at. Imagine you have a house, you find a house, and instead of nails or screws that are holding the house together, it's glue. So they wanted to know what happens if you take the glue out. You know what happens when you take the glue out? What happened was, we're watching the electromagnetic satellites shine down on Earth and show you the electromagnetic sphere around the Earth and all the magnetic lines that connect it to the sun and the moon and Mars and Jupiter and everything else in the solar system and in the galaxy. And it's all holding it together. It's all holding the Earth where it actually is. Well, when they did the Higgs boson times 13, there was a explosion and a wave went across the Earth. And then the Earth became disconnected. Everything that it was connected to, the lines of connection just disrupted and let go of the Earth and let go. And the electromagnetic field around the Earth winked out. And the Earth just drifted off like a cigarette butt out the window. And, I'm thinking, we're all doomed. We're doomed. I don't even know how long we have. How long can we live without the electromagnetic field? An hour, a couple hours, a week? How long do we got? And then my wife was freaking out and saying well, who are you and what have you done with my husband? That planet was destroyed. That body that I was in at that time was destroyed. The consciousness lives on in another body that's quantumly entangled on another Earth with another wife and another child and other parents and other brothers and sisters. Thus, non-linear reality. Roads wash out and fix themselves. Paths disappear and reappear. Planes freeze in midair and then catch up with themselves and start moving again. Fires burn twice. People die and come back to life. People who are alive become dead. People who are dead become alive. Because you're not in the same place anymore. You're in a different place. You're on a different Earth with a different linear reality and a different linear time. That doesn't correspond to the previous one or the next one. It may be close. It's probably close. In most instances. Because it's quantumly entangled. All the ideas are simultaneously shared. Whatever happens on one is reacted to on all. So it comes about pretty much the same, with differences. That's the true nature of reality. Someday soon, some other people are going to start to figure this out. And then I won't feel so damn alone. Right now, it's really lonely. I've been looking for someone else that possibly sees this, but they all deal with it as if they're making the assumption that there's one Earth, this one planet Earth. There's one planet Earth, and we're alone in the universe. No, we're not. There's lots of Earths, billions, trillions, who knows how many there are. And they're all entangled. Because they're all Earths. Say, how can the suns be different temperatures? Because the suns aren't entangled. The Earths are. It's probably the gate that advanced civilizations use to travel. That's the wormhole that you're looking for. That's the bend in time and space that everyone's trying to theorize about. There it is. A lot more study needs to be done on it, but the reality of it is as real as rocks. I see it every day. Well, most days. Not like I have any control over it. Trying to learn to get some kind of control over it, but it just happens. I never know when. I never know for how long I'm going to be anywhere. I might be here for a day. I might be here for a week. I haven't been in 2 weeks. I haven't made it 2 weeks anywhere in a long time. If I ever did. It's not like I knew this 15 years ago. That was when I started weirding out and going, what the hell is going on? This doesn't make any sense. Why is everybody so weird? And it wasn't that everybody was so weird. Nobody's weird. Nothing's different. Nothing's changing. Nobody's manipulating reality. Nobody's going back in time or doing any of that crazy stuff. You just move to a different Earth where things are mostly the same. They're exactly the same, except where they're completely different. And like any individual, your body, the individual that is the shell that your consciousness resides within, each one of them is their own individual. They're not going to be like you really in any way. They're going to be completely different people, just like any two individuals are different from each other. I don't mean to be so emphatic, but sometimes it gets really, really frustrating. But 3.5 years left. This time of great evolution will be over. We'll be out the other side of the high energy cloud that surrounds the galactic center, and it'll be another 24,980 years before we re-enter that high energy cloud to go to the next step in human evolution, if indeed we survive for that long. Which, if you continue to cling to linear reality, ain't going to happen. You got to get over all your biases and prejudices. There's only one race. Transgenderism is pretty fucking normal. It's not uncommon. It's a natural function of a nonlinear reality. Your consciousness slides along, and there's opposite gender. And there you are, all of a sudden, in the opposite gender body. I told my wife a couple days ago, one day I expect to wake up and find breasts and a vagina. So there's got to be a Stephanie out there somewhere. I haven't inhabited a female body, but I realized that reality is very real. That could happen at any time. That's the good side of it. There's the loneliness and the frustration is the negative side of it, but on the positive side of it, it brings great understanding. I don't see other races. I see human beings. I don't see sick individuals. I see a female consciousness in a male body. I see a male consciousness in a female body. And no, they weren't born that way. That's not how it happens. That's not how it actually works. How many of you remember your childhood? How much of your childhood do you remember? Not much of it. Snippets. A snippet here and a snippet there. And a lot of the concepts of gender didn't even come into the issue. All you had was what you were trained. And if it happened, how are you going to tell an adult I'm in the wrong body. That's what you're going to say. I'm in the wrong body. You don't understand. I'm in the wrong body. No, honey, you're whatever. You're a man. No, honey, you're a woman. And here's your pink, because you're a woman, here's your pink shit. You go, whatever. People are people. Please look into it. For your sake. It's only 3.5 years left. Don't be left behind.